Okay, the first exercise on day one of the stabilization phase for balance training after an ankle sprain is going to be, depending on where the athlete is at after the injury, they may need to do it just on stable ground, but it'll be 2 feet balancing. So if it's on stable ground, it'll be feet together and they'll just balance here. Now this is obviously easy for me, but an athlete that just got injured, this may not be as easy if they have one ankle that's sprained. If the athlete's a little farther along and this is too easy, they can go to a balance board or some other unstable surface. The next exercise on day one of the stabilization phase for balance training after an ankle sprain will be stork stand or a one-legged balance. Most likely the balance board won't be needed at first, but as the athlete gets better at it, they may want to use the unstable surface. So you'll just pick your foot up and hold for 2 sets of 30 seconds. The next exercise on day one of the stability phase will be on 2 feet, shifting your weight back and forth. At first it may be done on a stable surface, and then you may shift to the balance board. I'll demonstrate both. So you'll stand shoulder width apart and simply shift your weight to one side, back to the other. You can go backwards and forwards as well. Next, once that's easy for the athlete or they're farther along after the injury, you can do it on the balance board. The next exercise is the first exercise on day one of the strength phase of balance training. So it'll be a single leg balance, but you'll be reaching with your opposite foot and touching the ground around you in all directions. So you'll balance, touching front at an angle, to the side, back at an angle, behind, can come up at an angle, behind to the other side at an angle, and cross over. You can either do all directions in a certain pattern, or you can have a coach or a trainer call out a direction or an angle and reach there. The next exercise in the strength phase on day one will be a lateral lunge to a single leg stand. So you lunge to the side and go straight into balancing on one foot. Once this becomes easy, you can also do this on an unstable surface. You'll lunge onto the middle of the board, stand up. Okay, so now we've done standing on one leg and reaching with the opposite leg. Now we'll be bending over and reaching with our hand to touch the spots on the ground. So you'll balance on one leg, go down, touch here, you can also reach with the opposite hand, and you can go in all directions. Again, you can do a certain pattern, you can mix it up.
Get me in the video.
First exercise in the power phase or dynamic phase will be with a ball, a medicine ball of some type, depending on the strength of the athlete and where they're at. You'll be standing on one leg and passing it forward to a partner. can also go overhead with it. The next exercise in the power phase will be a lot like the last one, except you'll be doing a rotational pass. So you'll be in the transverse plane, working your balance in that plane and also your stability. The final exercise in the power phase on day one will be line hops. They'll be side to side or front to back. At first, you may want to pause every time you land to work on balance and stability while landing. Stand on one leg, hop over the line, side to side. As the athlete gets stronger, they may want to speed it up. Next, we'll go front to back with both legs.